there's a secret cult in the background of the bead world that sometimes just works to try to make our lives a little more difficult. And you know what they've done? Is they've really gone nuts with all of our seed bead color numbers. Have you noticed how oftentimes seed bead color numbers do not match up? Well, I'm here to explain why. Oftentimes you'll get a project and they'll reference a certain seed bead color number, say 457G, happens to be one of my very favorite seed bead colors. And you go to your local store and there's no 457G, there's nothing that looks anything like it, and you're really confused why you can't find it. Well, what's gone on is there are 3 Japanese manufacturers of seed beads. You have Matsuno, Toho, and Miyuki are the 3 companies that make Japanese seed beads. Each one of those companies has their own bead numbering system. And so sometimes if somebody references, say, you know, a bead 771, well, that's a Toho number, but if the store that you go to sells only Miyuki seed beads, that number is not going to make any sense whatsoever in the Miyuki seed beads. So sometimes you'll have to ask questions at your local bead store about what brand it is that they're using. You'll also want to ask, though, because there's one other little hitch here, which numbering system they're using, because there is a major wholesale supplier in the United States. He's also who I use, who has taken all 3 of those Japanese manufacturers and he lumped all of their seed beads into his own proprietary numbering system. So that means my 457G, which is his proprietary numbering system, might be a Toho 771. And so I might talk about it as a 457G. You go to your local bead store, sure enough, they're carrying the Tohos, but under their system, it's called 771. And there's no mass spreadsheet out there that tells you what is equivalent to what. It's kind of one of these life's little mysteries things. I do keep a running spreadsheet as I discover what is equivalent to what. At home, I do keep a running spreadsheet, so sometimes I can tell you what the actual Toho or Miyuki number is, but oftentimes I can't. All I know is my own wholesale supplier's number. I know it's really weird, but the reason he did this is because, for instance, he wants all the bronze beads to be in the same number category. So 457 is where all the bronzes sit. But in, like I said, like in Toho, it might be 771, and in the Miyuki, it might be in the 300s, and in the Matsuno, maybe it was in the 500s. And so to try to get all those bronzes close together in the same numbering system, that's where he came up with this lettering. So that's anytime you see a bead number that has something like an A, B, C, D, E, F, G behind it, with rare exception, that means that that number came from this wholesaler's proprietary numbering system. So I'm not sure that that helps you a lot. If you are really confused, you can always email me. I can see if I can figure out what your bead conversion number would be, or help you figure out what brand it is, or that kind of thing. In general, what I will do is I will make a notation. If I'm putting a bead number in a kit, I'll make a notation whether it is a Toho or a Miyuki bead or a Matsuno bead, that kind of thing, if possible and if I know. But that is at least explains why you've got these numbers all over the place that don't seem to match up. It's because there's 4 different numbering systems out there. Of course. I hope that helps you a little bit on your beading journey. Bead happy.